Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am here with the one and only White Wizard, because that's the better one, right? You don't, gray is lower, white is higher. Wizard Donald Wills. I was about to say Gandalf or something. And how are you? How are you, Donald? He has a he has a little book, or he's a giant.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based on my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Fair enough. You just now have to say it 111 more times. That's all.
There you go.
Because you're not hiding anything, and we're not even 1 minute into the video, and we've already lost the left. So
there we go. That's what we wanted to do, right? Let's be real here. Do you think the left likes Lord of the Rings? It's too Christian for them.
It is, but they do have some girl power people in it, though. They're
not wrong.
Yeah. So, but probably because anything, was it The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and all that type of stuff, that they probably don't like that stuff either.
Yeah.
So but we are here. So we're breaking formula. We're normally we would do all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in one video.
Yeah.
Our last video, I think, went overboard with the world of John Wick.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do was take a look at all 3 Lord of the Rings movies, which would be these here. But we're going to do 1 per video. So that's 1 per month. So for the next 3 months, we're going to do Fellowship on this one, then The Two Towers, and then The Return of the King. So that's what we're going to be doing, because these are way too freaking long, man. I'm watching the extended versions, and it's like 4 hours long.
So it's close. I think it was like 3 hours and almost like 15 minutes or something like that. So it's close to 4 hours. I think the second and third one push, I think the Return of the King is actually over 4 hours. So, oh joy.
Yeah, they are very long. So there is no way that we're going to get through this normally our videos are around 3 hours, which is probably way too long to begin with.
Yeah.
But I seem to be getting some sort of crackling. Do you hear crackling?
I do not.
Yeah, every time you move, it crackles. So move around a little bit. Let's see if it continues to do it. I'm wondering if it's...
Is this what you're hearing?
Maybe it's your beard hitting it?
It might be the beard. Hold on. You know what? I'll just hold the microphone up here. Is that better?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I think every time you moved it, it would do like a...
okay, it's my beard. I apologize, folks.
I go cut it right now. Go get scissors and just cut it all off.
I will not.
Because it goes against, speaking of religion, it goes against your religion to cut your beard.
No, I just don't like cutting. I just don't like shaving my beard.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. So most of our videos are around 3 hours, which were probably way too long to begin with.
Yeah.
And we would normally, I don't think we've ever done a video where we discussed one movie.
No, I think we basically just did a bunch of either a series, or we both picked like 2 movies, and then we talked about those movies we picked. I think the biggest problem with our format before was, especially with John Wick, and even going back even further when we did like Rocky and Creed movies, we really didn't have time to really kind of like go in depth with them. We kind of had to like, okay, let's talk about these for a couple minutes, and let's just move on to the next one. And if we could have been, dissected them a little bit more. But when you have that many movies, even John Wick, 5 movies, you're going to miss some things. So there may have been some things we really wanted to discuss, but to keep it in that 3 hours, it's almost impossible. So I think, and especially with Lord of the Rings, I feel it would be disrespectful, not only to, the films themselves, but to the author that wrote the books. And these are pretty faithful to the books. So as first time I'm saying it, that I'm actually proud to have a series or a book adaptation actually succeed.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll get into some of this stuff that we own in a second. So that means, so then Fellowship will be August. The Two Towers will be September.
Yes.
And then The Return of the King will be October. We then just need to figure out November, because, and I don't mind us sticking with format for Stallone. That's okay, because we already kind of picked out the movies for December and the movies for January.
Yes.
And since that's not like a series or a franchise, they're just random weird movies that we're picking out from Stallone, I think that's fine. But maybe moving forward for like November, we could pick one movie, and just talk about that. And then after Stallone with February, we could then just pick one movie to talk about and leave it at that. So I think that's a much better way to go. So that means that I can remove all of these and just say that we're discussing Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And it's, so let's get into, both of us have limited stuff. I thought you would have more, because I figured, well, let's talk Lord of the Rings, because you're like a huge fan, that you would have books, movies, games, toys, props, that maybe you had I don't know, a cloak that you would wear for Halloween because you wanted to be one of the characters. I own what's behind me, and that's it. That's all I had. So what? So I'm going to get rid of this. There you go. So what do you own?
Well, okay, so let's get into, before we even get into the movies, let's actually go back to the source material. I have right here the entirety of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Obviously, The Hobbit came first.
But there's 3 Hobbit movies. How can there only be one book if there's 3 Hobbit movies?
That is The Hobbit. Okay.
No, the Hobbit's got to be like this thick, because they made 3 movies out of it.
Nope. It is literally, I apologize if I'm crackling. Hold on. Trying to get the page count. 276 pages.
Are you saying that for the 3 Hobbit movies that they took a short book and expanded it into 3 3-hour movies, and also took other sources like poems and short stories and random things like that to fill in the running time? So they made 3 average movies? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, there's actually a fan film, a fan edit, I should say, of The Lord of the Rings, where they cut out all of the crap that they added in, and they just followed The Hobbit, like the story of The Hobbit.
I think we need to do The Hobbit. I think we need to do
The Hobbit.
I've only seen no, I never made it through the first film.
I watched the first 2, and I haven't went to the third one.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're bad. They weren't. They're not bad. It's just
they're well made. Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. I just never got around to seeing the third one. So maybe we'll have to do The Hobbit. I also have those in the extended editions as well.
Okay. Well, if you can hold it, put the mic by your beard to just don't move. What other stuff do you have then?
Okay. Well, like I showed you, this is The Lord of the Rings.
That is
and
pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the fancy pants edition you can get from Walmart. I don't know if Walmart still sells this or not, but it was like $30. So I took the price tag off, but it's a nice set. They're all leather bound, and these are the ones I just keep, displayed nicely on the shelf. And I have some paperback copies that I will be reading. I am going to admit something that's going to shame me for the rest of my life. I still have not read the entirety of The Lord of the Rings.
With how big of a fan you are, I would say yes, that you should go stand in the corner.
Yes, I know. And especially since fantasy is one of my favorite series, one of my favorite genres of all time. So
okay, I have
okay.
never read any of the books, so I have no reference except for the movies. That's it.
I recommend The Hobbit. The Hobbit's good. The Lord of the Rings, okay, we'll get into the Fellowship when we get to it, but there's a lot of changes that people were mad about.
Okay, I
So
know a couple of the characters that were left out. There's kind of like a Boba Fett guy that's
Tom
in
Tom
it.
Bombadil is the
Yeah,
biggest one that they. Like I said, we'll get into that. But I wanted to show a few um uh series that were actually influenced by J.R.R. Tolkien.
sure.
And one of them is an Amazon was adapted for Amazon, which did horrible,
Oh no,
which
don't say the
is
Rings of Power.
no, The Eye
Oh,
of the
okay.
World by Robert Jordan, also known as The Wheel of Time.
Oh, I know Wheel of Time. Okay, okay.
So this is the first book in a 14 book series.
I have always had an interest in that, but there's way too many books and they're like this thick, and and then I heard that they were doing a series and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I heard it was woke as fuck.
It was, yeah.
So I avoided it like the plague.
So keep in mind, this was in the 90s. They made the series in like 2002, 22 or something like that. 21, somewhere around there. And I was very disappointed. And what made me upset is when the guy, there's a guy named Brandon Sand. He's also a fantasy writer. He came in after Robert Jordan passed away and finished the series. So the last 3 books are written by him using Robert Jordan's notes. Problem is, he had say in the show, and when they kept telling him, well, it's the cop out with everyone is, I guess, in the series, it's the turning of the wheel, which is every single Dragon Reborn is a different telling. And that's what their excuse was.
I don't know what any of that is.
Fans of the people. Basically, it's
it's
our version. I'll give you the translation. It's our version of the story. So basically,
okay.
And then another inspiration. He is actually referred to as the American Tolkien. Is George R.R. Martin, a Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, the guy who won't finish the book series.
Jerk.
That guy.
Curse you, Martin.
You know, in Game of Thrones, I saw what I wanted to see. I saw the Dragon Queen naked, I think in the second movie, because I find her hot, and that's it. That's where I stopped. So I just went in the first 2 episodes. I don't like one of these characters. It does have Sean Bean in it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't like any of these people at all. I would just kill every single one of them, just throw them all out of a window. And I got to see who I wanted to see naked, and I'm done. And I heard that that last like season is garbage in the way that I probably thought The Sopranos last season was garbage. So yeah.
Spoiler alert, Sean Bean dies at the end of season 1. Like he
One
dies
does
in
not
every
simply
movie.
just kill Sean Bean.
Well, they decapitate them.
Wow, the guy doesn't survive the first Lord of the Rings movie, and he doesn't survive
The first season. The first
the first
season.
season.
I think that I have a theory about that. I think he has that written in his contract. I have to die in every movie.
He pretty much he was the villain in GoldenEye, and he died. Yeah, he dies in almost every movie. It's more surprising when he doesn't die.
Right? Right? So
Yeah,
every
he's a
time I
good
see him, it's
actor.
like, okay, where is he gonna die? When's this dude gonna die?
Yeah.
All right, so the last book series I have, which I'm actually in the middle of the series right now, which is probably why I haven't read Lord of the Rings. So this is the series you blame for me not reading Lord of the Rings. This he wasn't inspired by Tolkien, but he decided to take all of the fantasy tropes and turn them on their head.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what I mean by trope.
I do know what tropes mean. Yeah.
So for our viewers not that may not know what we're talking about, a trope is the chosen one or the Dark Lord. You know, like Sauron is the Dark Lord in the Lord of the Rings. Frodo is considered the chosen one because he has to take the ring.
Star Wars. You're referring to Star Wars.
Maybe. No. This is a book series called Malazan.
I have absolutely no idea.
This is it's been getting popular over the years, and he actually finished the series. Take that, George Martin.
Wow. Stephen King even finished his Dark Tower series. So take that also, George Martin.
He almost died in the making of that too. So, but anyway,
well, yeah. After he saw the film version, I would think he would die.
Too soon. Too soon.
So that's what you got?
That's everything I got. I'll show the Blu-ray box that I have here when we talk about the movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because mine is, I could just grab it off here. So this I got actually for our videos, and it's going to be sitting in the background. But I figured if Andy Serkis is ever at a convention that's like here in Vegas, I'll see if I could get him to sign it. But this is it's a Funko Pop, but it's Pop Plus, and it's just Lord of the Rings. It glows in the dark, and it's Gollum, and he's sitting on the ring.
Nice.
So there's like, and it's all gold. Everything is, and
nice.
It does show some other characters that you can get too. And I figured if I could never get him to sign it, it's a Funko Pop that I've always wanted anyways. So I might as well go for the like the pristine type version of it. And then I'm just going to show this one because I'll show one in each video. But this is how I have Fellowship. It's the special extended DVD edition. Yeah. And it's done more like a book. And it slides out. And you can, and it has a booklet that comes with it, which is right here, but it's huge. Each one is like this.
Yeah.
I think it comes with the theatrical and the extended. I will never watch the theater ones again. I have absolutely no desire in doing that. But the extended ones I will always watch, but I don't know if I'll, because they're so long.
Yeah.
If
well, the nice thing is that is yours split up into two parts?
It is. It's funny is once, and this is the Fellowship of the Ring continued on disc 2.
Right. That's how mine is.
Yeah.
Well,
and
this is the copy I have.
I was trying to think because you had mentioned that to me that they were divided, and I'm like, could they have done this maybe in a better place? Because the first disc is like an hour 45, and then the second disc has everything else. And it's like, fuck, this second disc is long. But I guess that was a good enough place to cut it. So what? I'm sorry, you were going to show yours.
No, I think the first one was a perfect place to cut it because we have what is it, Pippin or whatever? Is it Mary or Pippin? He goes, "Great, where are we going?" And then it cuts next to the next part.
You know, he's the Gilligan of these movies, and it's he is such an idiot, and I'm really surprised that Gandalf at some points, you know, just doesn't look at him and go, "Are you fucking retarded?" You know, just what is wrong with you?
He technically does. He just doesn't say it in that term.
Yeah,
he goes, "You're a fool." If it, he goes, if I didn't, he's like, I next time you do something so stupid, I will bash your head against the wall.
Yeah, I guess he's just being more politically correct than I just was. So
pretty much.
You know, get Gandalf the politically correct, but
yeah,
what he really means is, you know,
I want to kill you, you moron.
Were you born with your... That was a horrible accent. Were you born with your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck? What is your problem? You know, it's just he is really stupid. He is stupid. I like the actor. Nothing against the actor. But the character, my God, what a dumbass. But we'll discuss characters later. So show me what your movies are.
Well, this is the I have bought the extended edition box set of the Lord of the Rings. And this is just the extended edition. These do not contain the theatrical version. I have the theatrical versions on DVD, which I'm fine with that. I will keep it just because it is. I like to have both copies, even though I may never watch the theatrical version again, like you just mentioned. But I like to have an option. But this, basically, these look just almost like your box sets.
Yeah.
And basically, there's all the stuff on there. It comes with disc 1 and 2 is the movie, and then disc 3 and 4 are DVDs of the appendices, which is like the documentary that they did. Does yours come with the appendices?
Yeah, it's got a ton of special features on it. Yeah.
Okay, so and then the behind the scenes stuff, I have not gotten a chance to watch those, but I do want to at some point. So
yeah, as I'm sure the booklet in here probably says what's on here. They just don't. Oh yeah. So they show it on these. It's like there's extended the appendices, so they put them. They do them just like books, which I really like. That's probably why I haven't purchased the Blu-rays. Is because I really like how they did these. But if we do end up doing The Hobbit, I will get the extended versions, most likely on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Maybe, because then I could put these both together if I keep them on DVD.
Yeah.
My DVD and Blu-rays are separate. So, oh shit, he's glowing right now. I can actually see it. I can see Gollum. He's got the outline around him on here. That's kind of cool. Nice. I guess he's in a dark enough area. So
there you go.
I want to point. So what's interesting about this whole series is Peter Jackson had originally gone to the Weinsteins, and Harvey Weinstein wanted to do something different with them, but he owned them, which is why, even though these are New Line Cinema and, you know, Robert Shea and all that, Harvey Weinstein's name is still attached. And so I found that to be interesting, which is kind of sad, really. But Peter Jackson, kind of an unknown at the time, you know, he did direct these, and he's one of the writers, and he's a huge Tolkien fan. You know, he luckily he got to make them in the way that he wanted to, which is to do the 3 films instead of one long movie or just 2 movies that they were originally going to do. And he does have his, and of course we know him from stuff like The Frighteners, Bad Taste. I mean, he's done a ton of movies. So he's a great filmmaker. I am disagreeing with him because he is now working with Stephen Colbert, who I guess is a big Lord of the Rings fan. and they're going to be working together. And I'm just like, oh, great. Is this going to be, kind of like the Rings of Power, where it's just going to be woke Lord of the Rings, which I have not seen one episode of, and I won't. I'm only going off of reviews. I'm going off of clips. I'm going off of all that type of stuff. So I'm speaking a little bit out of my butt on it just because I haven't watched any of it, but I don't feel that I have to from what I've seen. And with how to the left Stephen Colbert is, I'm a little afraid of what they're going to do. Kind of like how Andy Serkis is doing The Hunt for Golem, which I'm happy about. But he also did Animal Farm with Seth Rogen, which is very woke, even though it's released through Angel Films, which is a Christian company. But now Andy Serkis is saying that The Hunt for Golem is not going to be woke. It's not going to be DEI. So if in that time period, unlike Rings of Power, if there aren't Black people, there's not going to be Black people in a show. If there aren't Hispanic orcs, there won't be Hispanic people in the movie. I mean, not show, but in the movie. So I'm happy about that, and he's gotten a lot of pushback on that. But it would match for what the books do. So I'm really hoping that Peter Jackson doesn't lead us astray again. But and he is in the movie. So when they go to meet, when they meet up with Aragorn, he's in the film. He walks past the camera. So he has this his little Hitchcock moment, which I like. And I remember in the theater going, "Oh, hey, that's Peter Jackson." I thought that was pretty cool. So
I didn't even know that. So I just learned something new.
Oh, there you go. Now, before we get into the real cast, because I was looking up cast, I found this. The worst possible Lord of the Rings cast ever. So the first person here is Kelly Marie Tran. So she was in the Star Wars movies. She was Rose. So they have her listed as Frodo Baggins. And then it's Ellen ... Elliot Page as Aragon, Madonna as Galadriel, Queen Latifah would be Gandalf the Uncolored.
Of course.
Jennifer Lawrence is Elrond, Daisy Ridley as Legolas, Timothy Chalamet as, I can't read it, Gimli. Oh yeah, as Gimli. John Cena as Samwise Gamgee. God, I'm surprised I'm getting these names right. Peter Dinklage as Boromir. Chris Hemsworth as Gollum. Brie Larson as Mary Branded Duck. They're very small. Sorry. Melissa McCarthy as Sauron, or Sauron? Sorry, I think that's how you say it.
Sauron, yeah.
Sauron. Chris Rock as Elrod, and Kevin Hart as Pippin Took. So what do you think? Should they have gone with this cast instead of what they did?
The only one that I would actually be okay with, but not as the character they have him as, is Peter Dinklage. I would be okay with having him as what's his face? Bilbo. Like old Bilbo.
Oh, Bill. So as a
hobbit, obviously,
but not
as Sean Bean's character. Come on.
What about him as the dwarf in it?
I mean, that would work too.
Since he's a dwarf, then you wouldn't have to shrink.
He'd make him make sense. I mean, he played Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. The only thing
I know played as a dwarf.
only thing I know of that character from Game of Thrones is people keep reusing him throwing up over and over and over again when they're talking about woke things. So it could be Nerd Riot or Critical Drinker. Is there just, that they're just like, Ellen Elliott Page is Darth Vader, and then it cuts to him throwing up on the ground, and then cuts back to him talking. This is the worst, but I could absolutely see this happening.
The sad thing is, yeah.
I mean,
especially Ellen Elliott Page. Anyway, we better move on before we get canceled. I think we're already there, so it doesn't matter.
So here's the real cast. So we got, Elijah Wood. We got Sean Astin, who I've grown to like from me watching this. I've never been a fan of him. I liked him in Goonies, but which is funny is the Goonies came out with an audio commentary track for like the anniversary of it.
Mm-hmm.
Midway through, he has to leave because he's going to New Zealand to shoot Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny. And then Billy Boyd, who I also like with the Chucky stuff, Dominic Monaghan. So we got those are our hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
Ian McKellen, who I don't think anybody else could have played this as well as he could. Kate Blanchett, I think I always found Kate Blanchett to be gorgeous. I don't know, she has such an odd look to her.
Who's she play?
She's like the elf, the one that gives them all the different.
She's
the name of
Galadriel,
who's horribly portrayed in Rings of Power. Viggo Mortensen, when there was an actor who was fired because it just wasn't working out, and I can understand why he got fired, because I could, a lot of these people are just perfectly cast. Liv Tyler is really good.
Liv Tyler's good.
Orlando Bloom. This is the only thing in that worst cast possible, because Daisy Ridley could play a guy. I guess like a really effeminate guy. I could maybe see her as Legolas, just throw a blonde wig on her. John Rhys Davies is really good. Viggo Weaving. And then, rest in peace, Sean Bean's characters, not Sean Bean himself, but the characters that he plays, like we said, they all seem to die. I think, and the only person they really don't have on here is Christopher Lee.
Yeah, he played Saruman, right?
Yeah. Maybe they were just trying to keep it even. They would just do what, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Christopher Lee's not on here. So what are your thoughts on this cast? I think this is pretty much a perfect cast.
I mean, the when I think Lord of the Rings, I mean, like I said, I haven't read the books, so this is my definition of Lord of the Rings. Every character, plays the role like great from the first movie all the way to the end. And then, there's even parts of the movie where when you see like Frodo and Sam, like especially in the extended cut, when he's like, I'm so happy to hear, it's an emotional scene. So I will give, like, they nailed it, man. I can't see anybody else playing this, and they better not remake it, or I'm gonna hate you all.
Yeah, I would have to look up. I forget what Stephen Colbert and Peter Jackson are doing, but it was an official announcement, and they did it kind of Zoom or whatever they used to announce it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be interesting after these almost to look at those animated ones from like the 70s. As they did The Hobbit, then they did Lord of the Rings, and then Return of the King, and 2 of those were TV movies and one was theatrical, and for the most part, like Ralph Bakshi did them. And Lord of the Rings looks great, animated wise. I've always liked his films, but then they did this time around, they did do an animated movie that was bombed, and Jackson was attached to it, and it was about a female character, like a female warrior, who's mentioned once in one of the books or you know, the poetry or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And they did an entire film just based on her, and it bombed beyond belief. Like nobody wanted to see this person who's literally, she's the daughter of a king. And
okay,
it's mentioned, maybe there's like 2 sentences at most. And they're like, oh, well, this is a chick, so let's give her her own movie. And it tanked beyond belief.
Yeah.
And it's some people find it really hard to believe that Rings of Power is still going on for Amazon, but this is literally the most expensive TV series ever made, and they already paid for it in advance, so they have to, and it's at least 3 seasons, and nobody has like, I think it's now season 3. It's all
season 3
female directors. They went out of their way to say, oh yeah, we're only hiring female directors for this. No, you know what you do? You hire the people that are most qualified. It doesn't matter if they're male or female, white or black. It doesn't matter, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. You hire the people that are most qualified. And this is where DEI kills stuff, and their viewership keeps going down. Yeah. So it's nothing's going to beat this cast, and nothing's going to beat these 3 films. And like I've said, I haven't read the book, so I don't really have anything to go off of, except for some things that were left out. I'm not even sure if these people, you know, if these actors really match the characters in the book. I'm guessing Peter Jackson would probably try to do a good job.
Yeah. I mean, from the certain characters I've seen, like from the little bit of the Lord of the Rings I have read about half of the first book. I stopped because I don't know why I stopped. I probably was, you know, doing a whole bunch of things, and I just put it down and just never went back to it. So far, like, watching the movies, they definitely captured the book perfectly, in my opinion. And yes, they did remove some things. Yes, they moved some characters out. The most notable everyone gets mad about is a character called Tom Bombadil. And I've read up to that part, and he is the most annoying freaking character in the entire book.
I've heard that, and maybe that's why they. Well, see, a friend of mine compared him to Boba Fett. He's like, oh yeah, he's the Boba Fett of the story.
Okay. I might pee a lot of Lord of the Rings fans off. He's the Jar Jar Binks of Lord of the Rings.
Oh wow! Okay, don't
because he said because when you meet him, he's like, "I'm Tom Bombadil. I'm doing the all this stuff." And the fact that Andy Serkis actually sings the part out is even more annoying.
Oh, and so I know that character's in Rings of Power that they did that I believe he is in Rings of Power, because Rings of Power cannot use the books, from what I understand. Yeah. They can use smaller bits and pieces, short stories, or
I think they're allowed to use his unfinished because Christopher Tolkien, before I think he passed away. Did Christopher Tolkien pass away? I think he passed away. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. But he was. I guess what they wanted to do was they wanted to take the Silmarillion, which is basically a bunch of short stories that Tolkien wrote, and Christopher Tolkien and Guy Gavriel Kay, which is another fantasy author, helped him combine it together to finish the book. And that's what they wanted to base Rings of Power off of. Well, Christopher Tolkien said, no, you're not touching this. You can have the unfinished tales or whatever they are, or some other short stories, like you said. And then they kind of just took, well, let's take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and let's just do our own thing.
Yeah, and and Amazon so far is just ruining everything that it puts its hands on. There are now jokes because I guess the producer, I'm blanking on her name, who's working on the new Amy Pascal, who's working on the new James Bond movie, is saying that this new James Bond is going to be something that you've never seen before. And so now the jokes are that it's Elliot Ellen Page. And there's now pictures of her like with Blofeld or something, where like she's way down here and Blofeld's way up here. I have no faith in Amazon at all.
No,
in anything.
I mean, especially when they ruined the Wheel of Time. That was what set me off. They did this before they did Rings of Power, and then after they bombed the monstrosity this was, I looked at Rings of Power. I was like, nah, I'm not even going to give it a chance.
No,
I just don't care.
They just don't learn. They absolutely do not learn from. I mean, it really is like what is it when it's like pathological or something, where you just keep redoing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. I'm blanking on the exact word that it is.
Definition of insanity.
That's it. Thank you. And they're completely insane. So, you know,
I mean, you see, here's the thing I'll say that then we can move on. Lord of the Rings was a success. A lot if you looked at a lot of the fantasy books and stories that have been adapted prior to this, they weren't successful because they couldn't do a lot of stuff. This proved that it can be done. So if you have the right people and do the right source material, you know, be faithful to the adaptation. Yes, you can change a few things here and there. We don't mind a few race swaps here and there if you have to. Like, you know, we didn't get mad when, you know, they made Nick Fury Samuel L. Jackson. I can't see anybody else playing Samuel L. Jackson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I could see them doing something like this with any kind of series. But when you keep,
guys, I'm sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, but when you keep, my biggest thing is when you go and you try to steer away from the source material. Again, I'm not expecting a page for page adaptation, but at least be kind to the source material and not say, oh, well, you know, this character is a homosexual or this character is a lesbian. No. Well,
I'm going to put up this map here because I think this is pretty cool. So this is the map of Middle Earth, and it's got all the cities and all that towns and all that stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I understand, and this comes from people like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Geeks, Geeks and Gamers, all these other, YouTubers that I watch that have read the books and are fans of this, especially Nerdrotic. On this map, there are no black elves. On this map, there are no gay hobbits. On this map, whatever you see in Rings of Power doesn't exist in this map. So that's what annoys me is that, and people say you're racist if you don't have a gay, binary, black, one-legged orc. But it didn't exist in the book. And granted, I haven't read the books. I mean, I've seen this, but it's you should go off of the source material. And there are a few things, like you brought up Samuel L. Jackson and Nick Fury. But Nick, you're getting an actor that all of us love. We all love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
We could totally see him playing Nick Fury. And now I do believe in the comic books, Nick Fury is black.
Yeah,
and
they actually changed it since then.
It's like there was a huge criticism when they were going to make the comic book Sergeant Rock into a movie. They were going to have Schwarzenegger play Sergeant Rock. Looks-wise, Schwarzenegger is perfect. But he's Austrian. Sergeant Rock is pure 100% American.
Yeah.
So you can't. As much as I would have loved to have seen Schwarzenegger as that character, it's not correct. You'd have to change his origins. well, my family originally came from Austria, and then before World War II, we moved to America, and you would have to make up some sort of story for this. And every once in a while, like, nobody complains that Morgan Freeman has played God. Nobody, because he's a great actor, and we all love Morgan Freeman. You know, but it's when you do stupid stuff to make a character the Odyssey with having Elliot Ellen Page in it, playing a character that's not from the Iliad, that's not from the Odyssey, that is actually from a completely different story, and that character is a man, and then you remove a character from the when you remove Achilles from the story and put in Ellen Page into it when they're in hell, when you probably, she might have even been able to get a cameo from Brad Pitt because he was in Troy. You're why? Except for representation and to get those check marks to get an Academy Award. So if they redid Lord of the Rings, this cast would look nothing like this. This cast would not exist. And even though, from what I understand, they did expand a few things, like Liv Tyler, like they gave her a few more things to do, her character's great.
Yeah.
We like her. We like the character. So then when she's holding on to Frodo and she's trying to, outrun on horseback the orcs, that's a great scene. And it goes on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean it just doesn't, I don't get it.
There, when with the expansion, like they made more, like they made you care a little bit more about the characters, and explained a little bit more, like, okay, why was, in the theatrical version you didn't see where Gandalf went. You just know Gandalf never showed up to the inn they were supposed to meet him at, and you're like, okay, what happened? In the expanded version, you show, okay, this is why Gandalf was held up, because he was being held prisoner by Saruman.
Okay. Because you brought that up, we're going to have to talk about the eagle in the room.
You don't like the eagles?
So I am in complete agreement, and I understand it's the journey, the quest, the adventure, friendship. I'm sorry, if when he's on one of the towers and a moth comes up and he goes, and then the moth flies off, goes get a giant ass eagle, and then it knows where to go. So the moth is smart, the eagle is smart, picks up Gandalf and brings him to wherever he needs to go. Why not just take the ring? Why not just get the eagle and just say, hey, look, we got to go to this volcano. Was it Mount Doom? I think that's the name of it, Mount Doom.
Yeah.
And just drop it in as they fly over. Just drop the ring in, and the movie would have been done in an hour. So it's like I don't get the whole, and I am one of these many people who brings this up because plot-wise, it doesn't make sense. If you have this available to you, why would you not use it instead of spending like 4 friggin' years trying to get to where you need to go? Donald?
We wouldn't have a movie then. We wouldn't have a great trilogy dug on it. And maybe, just maybe, okay, well, I'm assuming when he grabs the moth and he's speaking, I'm assuming he's casting a spell on the moth to send the message to the eagle to save him from there. So maybe there's only a limited time that he can use that spell or something. I don't know, man. It's fantasy, man. It's not supposed to make sense.
But it's everything works, and I think that the somebody who is completely removed from this, like, right, they're just going to go see an adventure movie. That's it. And they want to see battles and everything. I even think that type of person would even go, oh, if they have an eagle and it's giant, even if it was a tiny eagle, eagle could just put the ring in its mouth, unless somehow the ring would, I don't know, affect the eagle like it does a person. It could just fly right over the volcano and drop the ring in.
Except then what if the eagle eats it? And then he ends up pooping it out later, and then Golem finds it. Like, my precious! It's all poopy! That's my precious!
Well, he would just clean... I guess he'd just clean the poop off. I mean, but where would the... I mean, let's just say the bird even died. Like, it swallowed the ring and it died and just dropped out of the air. Maybe a bear or something would eat it.
Okay,
then the bear would poop it out. But it's like, I don't, to me, this is a massive, massive plot error.
I mean, maybe.
Because it really is just this. That's all it is. It's just this.
But it's evil influences those. That's why...
Well, no, go on.
It's just the ring influence is almost every one of the cats. Even Gandalf's like, no, I cannot touch this because I want to, you know, my greed and desires wants that ring for myself. So that's the whole thing. It's I'm trying not to go in the biblical perspective because J.R.R. Tolkien was Catholic. So he used the Bible as a lot of his inspiration for writing this.
Mm-hmm.
So the ring represents the evil, like Satan, like Sauron, I guess, would represent Satan, and I don't know who else represents whatever. You know, that I'm not going too deep into that, but I don't really see too much of it. I could see some of it, but well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the ring is like, okay, it's the temptation, you know, to use it for your evil gain, and that's why Frodo struggles with it, because even he uses it a few times.
So I don't get some of it with him. Is that why does he keep changing? He puts it in a pocket. He then has it in a little bag. He then puts it around his neck. Dude, just keep it in your little bag, wrap it up, put it in your pocket, and or maybe wrap it in like a few different things, put it into the bag, and then just kind of forget about it. You know, it's like you keep moving it so people could see it, or it could fall off, or it could somehow affect you. Like it's just wrap it up in a hanky and put it in your bag and forget about it. It's like,
I think was it The Hobbit? No, maybe I'm misremembering. But wasn't there a scene where he tried to throw it away, and then all of a sudden he found he came back and it was in his pocket again? Maybe it was The Hobbit.
In this movie, I don't think so.
I don't think it was this movie,
or I don't remember.
It may be the.
I mean, he there's the fight in the snow, and it comes off of him, and Sean Bean picks it up, because man is evil in this. Man, I like how they keep saying that. Man is evil, which I found to be very of today. That because in Tolkien's world, it would just be white men that are evil. And then, of course, he does give the ring back. And then there are a couple of times where Frodo tries to give it away, but nobody wants it, or they get all kind of loony on him, and then he kind of pulls it back. But I do like the idea that something small like a ring that would just fit on your finger could basically like destroy the world and I like that it isn't like a giant friggin' bomb, you know,
Well,
that just wipe out. It's just this little ring that was made for all the wrong reasons,
mhm.
you know, can just destroy everybody. So,
Yeah.
you know, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about like the actors and all that. Do you like our four hobbits here? Do you think that they're
Yeah, they all I think they, from again the little bit I've read of the book, I feel like well, I- I've heard some criticisms about Frodo. In the movie, he's a lot kinder. In the book, he's kind of an a-hole to Sam a little bit. So I'm like, I like that he's a lot kinder here. In the book, I'm like, man, I just want to punch this guy. I just want to kick this hobbit across the room.
well, I have heard that there is a kind of a homosexual undercurrent with those two characters, that they might be, you know, that they might like each other, that they could be.
I just think they're best friends. I don't think. I mean, I don't see the sexual thing behind them, but I mean, I think that might be some people just being like,
I mean, maybe Sam. I mean, he did make the you know, he did tell Gandalf that, you know, he would protect him and never let him out of his sight. But he seems to be a little obsessed, you know, and I don't know. And Frodo there, it's not like we're seeing, you know, posters up of his wall of Sydney Sweeney or something. You know, it's just, you know, who knows, you know.
Mhm.
Might be something there. You never
Mhm.
know. But I have my
Maybe.
dislike for Sean. I keep wanting to say Sean Bean with him. Sean, well, the guy who
Ash,
plays Aston. Thank you,
Sam. Yeah.
Sam. My problem with him is I never really had a problem with him before because I liked the Goonies, and then I saw the behind the scenes of this when I first got the DVD, which was a very long time ago. And he was bitching and moaning and groaning about having to wear the Hobbit feet. And so he would count the days that he would wear the Hobbit feet and they would never show them. And which is not the point. It's like you're supposed to be in full costume just in case the camera does go down there. But
Mhm.
I thought, what an ungrateful dickhead. You know, you're in New Zealand, a beautiful place. You're getting paid a good amount of money to be in 3 movies. You
Mhm.
know, nobody really knows who you are anyways, you know,
Yeah.
except for maybe Goonies. And it's like, and you're bitching and moaning and groaning about this stuff. So anything that I saw with him after that just left a bad taste in my mouth with him. It's just like,
Yeah.
God, you're ungrateful. You're just, you really seem, it kind of reminds me of some of the Harry Potter people.
Mhm.
Like, you know, without J.K. Rowling, you guys wouldn't have a career. So it doesn't matter what you really think of her politics.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for her. So be somewhat
Mhm.
grateful. You could say you disagree with her, but just be
Yeah.
grateful to her. And it's the same thing here. It's like you didn't have to be cast as this. They could have gone with somebody else.
Yeah.
So I just, but I did like him in this film. I do like him a little bit better because of this.
Mhm.
Um, I guess it's kind of separating the actor from the character.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I like him a little bit better. But yeah, so and then this, of course, is our fellowship.
Yeah.
I'm watching this, and this was a while back. I realized that this does not look good. You could tell this is an effect. In the movie, it's done from, you know, fairly quickly and far away, but you
Yeah.
could see, and this is a shot from the movie, that obviously the hobbits, like you had the taller actors in the back, like the regular kind of like humans, and then
Mhm.
they put the dwarf in, and then they put in the hobbits. To me, doesn't this look like an effect? It doesn't look like they're really all together. It looks like a fake magazine cover or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Elijah Woods and all them are not really short. I mean, they're
No,
short,
no,
but they're not
no.
like.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, in the making of the movie, they're all the same size, and they're
Oh
using force
yeah.
perspective, doing all that. But in
Mhm,
this, it looks like from this picture, which is actually from the movie,
mhm.
that they layered them onto the film.
Like the green screened each one
Yeah,
in or something.
yeah, and it just looks like something I could do, because the hobbits really do look like they're taken from something else and put into the picture, even though
Yeah.
this is directly from the movie.
Yeah. So maybe they had the green screen, the three, blue screen, whichever one they used, the four in the back, or maybe Gimli in the back, and then they did the Hobbit and all four Hobbits together, and then they just kind of did them all in, because I think I read somewhere that with a lot of the scenes with Gandalf and uh, Frodo, they had to literally like green screen Gandalf into that scene, because because of the effect they had to do. They wanted to make him look big and him look real small. He had to do a lot of his stuff by himself.
It's a combination of both. Like at the very beginning, where they're on the whatever Gandalf is rolling in
In the
on.
cart.
The cart. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that is Gandalf is here, or the actor's here, and then Bilbo is back here.
Yeah.
So it's a forced perspective shot. So
Mhm.
when you're looking at it on camera, it looks like this, but they built the cart to have the actor back to make him look smaller.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of a bunch of different stuff. Like
Mhm.
they would shoot Gandalf stuff and it would have little furniture, and then they would shoot Bilbo stuff and it would have big furniture. So it was a combination of a bunch of different things. So,
Yeah.
but as far as the Fellowship goes, I like this. I like
Yeah.
who they have for it. I think that it works out pretty well. And then individually, what do you think of Gandalf? What do you think about the same actor playing? Magneto also plays Gandalf. Do you think that? And Christopher Lee originally wanted to play Gandalf
Mhm.
because he's a massive Tolkien fan. He said, well, when he was alive, that he read the books like once a year.
Mhm.
And they had him play the villain, which to me makes more sense.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Ian McKellen here as Gandalf?
I mean, I think he did a phenomenal job of being Gandalf. I can't see anybody else play Gandalf just as much as Christopher Lee playing Saruman. I can't see anybody else play Saruman. I
Right.
mean, if forever, as long as I live, Christopher Lee will always be Saruman, and I can never say his name right. I apologize. Ian, what?
Oh, Ian McKellen.
No, okay. I can never say his last name right. So Ian McCullen is definitely in
That's
my
all right. I
mind
couldn't
forever.
remember what a cart was called. So
Hey, we
that
all
thing
have our
with two
days, man.
wheels and it has a horse. What is that? I've never heard of one before. Well, yeah, because
Nope.
then you do have Christopher
Yeah.
Lee,
Hmm.
who I think is perfect.
Yeah. It. It's like, I mean, it's like he was born for that role. I mean, and him,
Oh yeah,
and it even helps that him being such a massive Tolkien fan that he read the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit every year. You know, it's fitting to have him in a huge fan like that in the movie.
well, and certain filmmakers understand the importance of Christopher Lee. Like
Hmm.
originally in Star Wars: A New Hope, Lucas wanted Christopher Lee in the movie.
Hmm.
And the producers at Fox, because they already had Peter Cushing and they already had David Prowse, who were two Hammer actors,
Hmm.
they told George Lucas, we're not making a Hammer movie. You're making Star Wars. So no. So it wasn't until he got to do the prequels that all of a sudden there's Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I want Christopher Lee in my Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And Peter Jackson is like, he needs to be Saruman in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's that simple. In the same way that Tim Burton started using him in all of his later movies.
Yeah.
And understanding the importance of Sir Christopher Lee. And so I think that he is very important. He is also the white, while Gandalf is the gray. And Gandalf eventually, when he reappears, comes back as Gandalf the white.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Damn. damn me. But I think that they worked really well together. Yeah. I mean, just seeing them on screen together, I think is great.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you could do it, which is why I'm kind of bummed out that they left him out of that cast picture. But you don't get any better casting than Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee together on the screen together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when they were doing X-Men, and you have Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen together, and then they became really good friends in real life, and you would see them together, interviewing or going to plays or whatever it might be. They just kind of hung out together. Yeah. So it's nice seeing these types of actors being appreciated and looked at, because this is I love their dynamic. I love these scenes with them, because Gandalf has no freaking idea what is going on. While, of course, Saruman, I know there's the big I. Saruman and Saruman.
Saruman is Christopher Lee's character. Sauron is the Sauron.
There's way too many characters in this that sound the same. So it's great just seeing those two people, or actors and characters together, especially when we know what's going on with Christopher Lee. I mean, and Gandalf is just completely oblivious, because he's like, oh, well, this is my friend. I can go talk to him and tell all the secrets, that that he shouldn't know. And then for me, my favorite character in all of this would be Gollum. And that is, Andy Serkis.
Yeah. He's not really he's in the first movie, but he's not he's more hidden in the shadows in this one. He's not he's I guess he's more he has more screen time in the second and third movie. But the first one, you kind of
hiding behind things.
Yeah, like shadow, you see, the closest I think you see his eyes. That's about as far as you get to see him.
Yeah, we hear his voice a lot.
Yeah,
like when Bilbo finds the ring, and you hear him he's like screaming in the background. Where is it? Where is it? But this Gollum is so revolutionary that this is the reason why I stopped watching the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Is way back in the day when American Werewolf in London came out, they created the special effects award for that movie, which it won. Why they cannot create it's not stop motion. I'm blanking on, God, I'm getting old. It sucks. But the technique with the bubbles all over them.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
It's something go motion.
Oh shoot, what is it? Motion capture.
Motion capture. Thank you. Why they could not create a category for motion capture.
Yeah. And
it didn't make sense to me, because even with stuff like Planet of the Apes, with Andy Serkis playing, Caesar, it's all their face. It's all their reaction. So when Gollum's in pain, you feel his pain. When he's laughing on the ground maniacally, you're feeling that. It's when he's talking back and forth between, you know, himself,
Yeah.
you feel it, and it doesn't make any sense. So I stopped watching the Academy Awards because this was not a thing. And I said, I will watch it again when this category is brought back in, because now so many actors, Alan Mason, who I know, does a lot of these types of characters, and he was one of the heads in Godzilla King of the Monsters for King Ghidorah. And I've interviewed him twice now, I believe. And we talked about this. And I even threw, even though this actor isn't part of that, but somebody like Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, you know, actor, stuntman, created an iconic character now. None of these people really seem to get the recognition that they need.
Yeah.
But if you're a gay, trans, non-binary, Black, one-legged woman, you know, I'm sorry.
Why one leg, man? Why one leg?
Because you got to get the physical thing in there.
The disability.
Yeah. You know, they would win an Academy Award. But yet somebody who brings a character alive who doesn't even exist, but they exist to us. I mean, shit, bought a freaking Funko Pop on the guy. These people need to be recognized. And it bums me out that they're not. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's his face. That's all him. So what is, I've kind of gone on and on about it. What is your take on this? And then we'll move on.
I mean, Golem is a revolutionary character. I mean, he's I constantly use the precious thing all the time. Every time someone's gonna take something away from me, like, no, my precious, my precious.
Well, everybody knows what it means when you do that. It's like an obsession. It's your yeah, you know, you have to, if somebody takes away your slice of pizza, my precious, my, you know, we all know what that means.
No, my precious.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to next month watching, you know, Two Towers, so we could get, you know, even more of him. And but there's other characters in this too that you know, that I would like to point out. There is like the like, what is that? It's a death dealer. It's not a ring wraith, but I think it's
the ring
a
wraith. Yeah, the ring. I don't know the actual term. I think they refer to as ring wraiths or something like that.
They're men. They're the ones who had the ring. Those are men that are turned into these creatures. This is a great scene. Yeah. And then and they just look really cool too. We also have the orcs that are in this, which, thanks to, you know, AMC, they're now complete pussies. So they now have families, they now have children, they now don't want to go to war, you know, because this is just what woke AMC does. They destroy things, and, you know, and their leader is the one who kills Sean Bean, which is a pretty badass looking orc. Yeah. So it's, of course, I don't know the names of all these people.
I just call him the leader of the orcs at that point.
Yeah.
And well, he's the leader of the orcs until Aragorn kills him.
Oh yeah. And there's also goblins, which I forgot about. Yeah. So, which are pretty cool.
I will say I forgot how creepy that was when they were climbing on the walls and they look like ants, like bugs crawling over the walls, and then you get closer and then it's them like it's like ooh.
Yeah, and they look great too. The effect.
Oh yeah,
And it's And then, of course, I already mentioned that Kate Blanchett I think she looks amazing in this as an elf. So I could hook up with that if she would have me. So I could see that right there. So, she's pretty hot. There is, and I wanted to bring this up when we were just talking about the ring itself, but this was a pretty cool scene too, where the ring, it's one of those times where he loses the ring because he doesn't have it secured properly. And then it falls on his finger, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That was during the tavern scene, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's on the floor of the tavern. But my favorite scene in this entire thing is this.
Oh yeah. To be quite honest with you, did we even see in the theatrical version? Did we even see the Balrog?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't think we did. At least I don't think we've seen like, maybe we've seen like that much of it, but I don't think we've seen like the whole body like we've seen in the extended cut.
Yeah, I don't remember at all.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up and come back to you next week, next month.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely my favorite scene in the whole film. The whole thing of, you shall not pass, and then, you fools, and then they're running, and then the Two Towers starts, and it's just them falling for days and days and days and days and days, and we find out really what happens to it, to Gandalf and him. It's my favorite scene in the whole movie. So I would probably say it's my favorite scene in the whole film, but my favorite parts of the film are like Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee being together. Yeah. I think those are by far the best, seeing the old classic guys out there. Oh, yeah. It is weird. Like you have like the hobbits that are like the youngest people, like actors, and then you guys are in the middle where you have like Sean Bean and the other guys, and then you have the classic actors, know, Ian McKellen and two sirs, Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Christopher Lee. Yeah. So I think that is all pretty cool. One other thing that I really enjoyed in this also is the soundtrack. Yeah. So this is Howard Shore. He is one of my favorite composers. He does practically all of, except for Dead Zone, he's done all. Did he do Dead Zone? He might have done Dead Zone. He didn't do one. Oh, no. Danny Elfman normally does Tim Burton, but they had a falling out. So then Howard Shore went to go do Ed Wood. But I do believe he's done all of David Cronenberg's movies. He is a great composer, and I believe he's also a conductor. And these soundtracks are great. I mean, these are things that if you want to clean the house and put on music, throw on a Lord of the Rings soundtrack, and you'll just probably clean the house faster than anything, because it's just all action adventure, And then when you hit like the Shire and it kind of calms down a little bit, that's where you take a break and you get some water. And then all of a sudden it gets back into fights, and then you go clean the house again. What's your take on the soundtrack?
I think the music is fitting. I definitely enjoyed the one thing a lot of people hate about the books is the songs and the poems and all that. I do appreciate that they added most of that into the extended cut, where they had I don't know the actor's name, but the one that played Aragorn. Like he started singing about the girl, what's her name? The Tyler's character.
Okay.
Or
I'm mostly just using the actors' names. Like I can't remember all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones I know. Well, like I said, the only ones I don't really know the name of the actor is Aragorn and Gimli. I'm not familiar with their actual names.
Viggo Mortensen would be Aragorn.
Okay. I've seen him in other stuff, but my biggest problem is when I watch a lot of movies, there are a lot of actors I don't know by name, but I'll know by face. I'm like, oh, I know you. You were Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mostly will know the I don't know. Sometimes I know both, but it's like I'll go like, well, when Mark Hamill fought Darth Vader. Well, no, Mark Hamill did not fight Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker fought Darth Vader, but like I'm blanking on Luke Skywalker, so I'll just say Mark Hamill. So it's difficult. So to to memorize a lot of these people. So what I have up here, and we'll kind of go quickly through this, is I got this might make it bigger. So Lord of the Rings, this is the Wikipedia page for it. And there's a lot here, obviously, but looking at it, 2001 is when this came out.
25 years old, man, and it still looks great.
Yeah. Budget was 93 million. I'm really surprised this didn't hit a billion, but it's 897.5 million. But when, and it's got all of, the cast is, thought that there would be something that's more. What was I just looking at for you? I just looked at it. It might be on the other page. I have two pages, but I think that was pretty much all that I just wanted. Yeah, the score. Oh, let's see. Okay, extended version. So, okay, so the 2020, how do we say that now? 2002, an extended edition was released on VHS and DVD, 30 minutes of new material. Added special effects and music, plus 20 minutes of fan club edits, totaling 228 minutes. What does that mean?
I don't know.
So an extended edition was released with 30 minutes of new material, added special effects and music. Okay, I get that. Plus 20 minutes of fan club credits.
Oh, I think because the credits are like 27 minutes for like the credits was literally like 27 minutes long.
Oh my.
So I think that's like 20 minutes just like all because it keeps scrolling. There's like a bunch of names. So I'm assuming whatever the fan club was, that's what they put into the end of the movie.
Okay. All right.
Because I kept looking at it, I was like, oh man, I have a half hour left. And in reality, I only had like 10 minutes left. So I was like, and I'm like, oh man. I'm thinking 27 minutes long. I'm like, is there like an after credit scene or something? So I scrolled through just to make sure. And then I'm like, no, that's just names.
Huh.
So
Okay.
that explains all the names now.
So 228 minutes would be the version that we watched compared to the 178-minute theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and I do have another page here. So let's do, I guess I have to stop that one. And then still trying to figure this whole thing out. Okay. So let's see. So is that up there? Okay. And I think if I do this, it might become a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay. So this is where I was getting all the names from.
Okay.
When you asked. So this is, and what was up here? So I guess running time for all three films was 557 minutes, but the extended one was 682 minutes.
It's like 11 hours or something like that.
And then our casting, which we've already talked about. Everybody in this was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other, like Ian Holm, who was Bilbo, I think is great.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor. God, as I'm sure I would probably recognize these people if we saw them on the screen, but I'm not seeing Andy Serkis. Here we go, as Golem. And Smeagol.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler, Hugo Weaving, Kate Blanchett. Don't recognize any of these people. Saruman, Christopher Lee, Brad Dourif. He's coming up.
Okay.
Wormtongue. So we got him. Oh, Andy Serkis plays a different role.
Isn't Brad Dourif's character, isn't he the Poison King or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Bruce Spence is coming up, which I'm happy about.
Okay.
So he's the mouth of Sauron. He plays that ring wraith that's on the flying dragon. But he's another one of these actors that you get because of who he is. He was the gyro captain.
Are you talking about the one with the weird clown looking mask?
Yeah, and he's and there's the dragon with the wings, and he's flying, and he's trying to get the hobbits.
The Witch King or something like that.
Yeah, and he was in the Road Warrior. So he's the gyro captain in the Road Warrior. But he is in a ton of movies because of who he is. You say, oh yeah, let's get Bruce Spence. It's like, yes, I don't care what he's playing, we just get Bruce Spence. He's just one of those guys. And then I don't really know. Andy Serkis, man, he plays a bunch of different people.
Maybe they just needed some extra people, and he's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, here he is again. I mean, we're kind of going through the other movies, but Carl Urban is popping up. So, yeah, so we're getting a bunch of people that are going to be coming up. Oh, yeah. John Rhys Davies also played a Treebeard. So he's coming up. This guy, Thomas Robbins, hands only. So I guess the actor did not that they wanted to play this did not have nice hands. So, but I think that's why I wanted to show this, was just because of like some of the actors and stuff that were in this. Otherwise, I think that's about it. So yeah, Lord of the Rings series. Yeah, let me just show him for a second here, because his stuff is really good. Okay, where's his? So yeah, so he did like The Brood. Go away. Yeah, a lot of David Cronenberg stuff. Scanners, Videodrome. Oh, After Hours, that's a good one. Martin Scorsese. Fire with Fire, that's kind of like a teen 80s movie. Oh yeah, The Fly. And he has done a ton of movies. Big, Dead Ringers. Oh God, he did She-Devil. Oh, this is going to go on for a while, so we'll just go like this. This is a lot of movies in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus TV shows, video games, and everything else. So
yeah.
Oh, he's doing the new David Cronenberg movie. Should be out already, actually. The Shrouds. Oh, I think that is out. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what these people have done with.
Yeah.
So okay, I think that we can probably wrap this up unless there's anything else you'd like to talk about.
I pretty much think we covered everything. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I do want to say this is my first time watching the extended cut.
Oh.
So I would definitely say watch the extended cut over the theatrical cut. I say at least watch both cuts at least once in your life. But if you're gonna rewatch them, watch the extended cut.
And I would say just watch the extended cut. Unless you're a diehard, watch the theatrical, and then watch maybe like a day later the extended, so then you can go, oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Because Christopher Lee is not in Two Towers.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the extended cut. But when people interviewed him for the movie, it might have been for something else, or maybe it was for the extended cut. He goes, and they said, oh, well, you never promoted Two Towers. He's like, well, why would I promote a movie I'm not in?
Yeah.
So I think they just say what happens to him, and that's it. But then in the extended one, we do see it.
Yeah.
So unless it's something like that, where like a character has been completely removed, I would just say stick with the extended cuts.
Yeah.
But if you're a real diehard, you need to see both versions, then go for it. That's an entire, if you sit through each one, you're looking at like an entire week of just watching Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh yeah.
And I would probably do theatrical, then extended, theatrical, then extended, theatrical, then extended. So you can kind of keep it all in your mind. That's a lot of Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah.
So, okay. Out of like, if we were to give a rating, just 1 out of 5, what would you give this?
I give it a 4.5.
I give it a 5.
I mean, I would definitely lean more towards a 5. Okay. Let me rephrase that. If I had to give like for both theatrical and the extended, I would give the theatrical 4.5 and the extended a 5.
That makes sense. I would probably say the same thing. Yeah. The only thing that would make me, because if I were to go, let's say on this 4.5 on like on the extended, it would go more towards a 5. But with me giving it a 5, it could almost go back to a 4.5 because of the Eagle stuff. I just think that with the people who worked on this, it is such a continuity error that and such a plot point that I don't know if it's intentional or not. You know, like was this done on purpose just to piss people off and for them to talk about for 20 years?
Probably.
It's
probably.
But it is a 5, but maybe leaning towards a 4.5. But it's definitely a 5. So
that scene was put in there for people like you that like to overanalyze stuff.
I think so. But yet I can watch other movies where things make completely no sense, and then I go like, yeah, but it's just a movie. Who cares?
So there you go, John. It's just a movie. It's Lord of the Rings.
Because I guess maybe this is Lord of the Rings, and who wrote it, like Tolkien, and who did the screenplay, and there shouldn't have been these mistakes, or mistake, because I don't think that, once again, I have nothing to refer to. So, but just story-wise, looking at it from a story point of view, I just think the Eagles is a massive continuity error. So,
believe it or not, you're not the only one that said about the Eagles. That's been a debate for years.
Yes.
Like, why couldn't they have just had the Eagles fly them up? And they're like, well, the Eagles come and save them. Why couldn't they just have the Eagles? Like, but then again, I keep telling people, then we wouldn't have a trilogy then. We'd have maybe a short film.
But we did have, for Star Wars, why would somebody in the original Star Wars, why would you make that little exhaust port that would then lead down to the core, that if somebody did shoot into it, it would explode the Death Star, right? That's been a thing for decades and decades, until they made Rogue One. And the guy who was the engineer, the architect of it, had said that he purposely put that in so they could destroy it if like the Empire got out of hand and stuff. So it's like, okay, well, at least there's
that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. I don't always need a reason, but okay, I get it. This is what people have been saying. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. Now I'm only going off of Fellowship. So it's like, unless Gandalf just said, "Oh, fuck this. I'm going to use the Eagles, but I'm not going to let anybody else use it. Why should I bother telling them?" You know, that's kind of a dickhead move. Because he could be like, "Hey, all my little hobbits, here's some Eagles. Let's go." So
I mean,
that's only going off of this film, even though I've seen the other two. So
yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's good. This wasn't 3 hours at least.
Yeah.
And then on the next one, we don't have to explain things like we did at the beginning of this because we already talked about it. So so maybe that one will be even shorter. So, all right, everybody.
Hopefully.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you watching this, especially if you made it to the end. Thank you, Donald, for always being here. I really enjoy doing this. So we're trying to do some other stuff to make them shorter. And but I liked what you originally said when before we were really friends. You would say that you would watch my stuff like it's like a radio, that you would have it in the background because my stuff was pretty long. And so maybe that's what people do with these film discussions, is if they're 3 hours or 4 hours long, they just have it playing in the background. But hopefully, we can get these things down to a reasonable length and people will sit through them. So, but all right, man, thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. Did you like Fellowship of the Ring? Did you not like Fellowship of the Ring? Do you prefer theater or extended? Is the Eagles thing a big deal to you? Do you think the one hoblet? Do you think the one hoblet is the Gilligan of these movies? Because I'm telling you, man, if they just pushed him off a cliff, they probably could have made it much faster. But yeah, so let us know, and then we'll see you next month for Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Yay! All right, everybody. See you later. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Bye.